Ever wonder what all those crazy serial killers' last words were before their execution? Their last words were just as crazy as the murders they committed. Here are 10 last words of infamous serial killers before they are put to their death. I'll pass you on to Paige to get started.
Number 1. Ted Bundy. Theodore Robert Bundy was a famous American serial killer who raped and killed an unknown number of women in the 1970s. He was executed by electric chair on January the 24th, 1989. His last words: "I'd like you to give my love to my family and friends." 2. Peter Kürten. Peter Kürten was known as the Vampire of Dusseldorf, thought to have killed nearly 60 people in Germany. He beat, raped and drank the blood of at least one of his victims. He was executed by guillotine on July the 2nd, 1931. His last words were, "Tell me, after my head has been chopped off, will I still be able to hear, at least for a moment, the sound of my own blood gushing from the stump of my neck? That would be a pleasure to end all pleasures." 3. Jeffrey Dahmer. Serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer was known as the Milwaukee Cannibal after raping and killing 17 men and boys during the 1980s. His murder involved cannibalism and necrophilia, as well as preservation of body parts. Dahmer was convicted and sentenced to 16 years life in prison terms. However, on November the 28th, 1994, he was beaten to death by a fellow inmate. His last words were, "I don't care if I live or die, go ahead and kill me." Number 4. Aileen Wuornos. She killed 7 men between the years of 1989 and 1990 and tried to convince the jury she was defending herself against rape. She was executed by lethal injection on October the 9th, 2002. Her last words were, "I'd just like to say I'm sailing with the Rock, and I'll be back like Independence Day, with Jesus, June the 6th. Like the movie, big mothership and all, I'll be back." Peter Manuel at number 5. Peter Thomas Anthony Manuel was convicted of taking the lives of 7 people in Lanarkshire, Scotland between 1956 to 1958. He was nicknamed the Beast of Birkenshaw before he was finally caught. On July the 11th, 1958, he was taken up to the gallows. His last words were, "Turn up the radio and I'll go quietly." Number 6. John Wayne Gacy. Known as the Killer Clown, he was a rapist who sexually assaulted and took the lives of at least 33 different teenage boys and men between the years of 1972 to 1978. He died by lethal injection on May the 10th, 1994. He was diagnosed as a psychopath who did not express any remorse for the lives he had taken. His last words were, "Kiss my ass." At number 7, George Engel. George was one of the 4 responsible for the 1886 Haymarket bombings in Chicago. He was hanged on November the 11th, 1887, and his last words were, "Hurrah for the anarchy, this is the happiest moment of my life." Coming in at number 8, James French. James French was a murderer and executed by the electric chair on August the 10th, 1966. His last words were, "How's this for a headline? French fries?" George Appel at number 9. He killed a police officer and was executed by electric chair in 1928. His last words, "Well, gentlemen, you're about to see a baked Appel." Number 10, last of all, Amelia Dyer. Thought to have murdered over 400 children, she was hanged on June the 10th, 1896. Her last words, "I have nothing to say." Well, there you go, guys. That was a list of 10 killers who most had some crazy last words. What would your last words be if you were in that situation? I know it's probably hard to think about. Tell us in the comments anyway. We've been Incredible Top 10 and you've been incredible. Bye.